Welcome everyone, AdamTheWoo here. You just heard the noises of a construction vehicle backing up, and now let's play Name That Noise. Listen, shh, listen. What is that noise? It's my second channel, daily blog channel. No, this TheDailyWoo is not the noise. The noise I am referring to is a garbage truck dropped off the Empire State Building. That's what Large Marge would say, but that garbage truck has not been dropped off the Empire State Building. And the first noise you heard was this tractor pulling up and parking itself right there, and you heard the backup noises. And I'm sitting right here on top of a grate, and I hope no chuds come out of there while I'm filming this vlog and attack me and slither up my spine. And I'm hoping no creatures or people bust down that door like the Kool-Aid Man and interrupt our vlog. It's the Daily Woo. I want to talk to you guys about a serious topic that I've been considering for a while. As you know, I've been doing videos for 5+ years, and in November of 2011, which would make it, gosh, four years ago now, almost 4 years. Coming up in November will be 4 years when I actually quit my job, departed. Actually, August 9th will be 4 years from when I quit my job. And then I went on tour with a couple bands. After touring for a month around October of 2011, November of 2011, I decided to hit the road, sold all my stuff, started sleeping in my van, traveling across the country, did road trips to and fro, north, south, east, west, Mexico, Canada. 46 of the 48 continental United States I have been to in the last few years. Multiple times. So it's very interesting how my life has changed over the last few years. And it's also very interesting how that garbage truck keeps making a lot of noise. I thought it originally had dumped the garbage, but I was incorrect. The garbage had not been dumped. But I think they are now completed, so now it's time to get serious. It is time to get heart to heart. I want to ask you guys your opinion on something. I value what your opinion is and what you leave in the comments down below, as far as what you leave on social media through emails, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and these comments here on the Daily Channel. I've been considering this for a while now, and part of me really wants to rebuke it. Part of me wants to take this idea and cast it aside, because a big integral punk rock part of me, a DIY do-it-yourself part of me, really does not agree with it. But it's 2015, and things are not like they used to be, I suppose, with the beauty of the internet and supporters, followers, vicarious friends, and kindred spirits out there. And there are a lot of ways called crowdfunding, crowdsourcing. Hold on one second, look. It's the never-ending trash can receptacle getting dumped over and over and over. That's about the third time it's been dumped. There must be something inside there that is very, very sticky to the bottom of the trash can. So let's talk a little bit about crowdsourcing, crowdfunding. I'm sure you guys have heard of Kickstarter and other different types of crowdfunding sources that a lot of creators, whether it be podcasters, whether it be YouTubers, whether it be people with websites, whether it be directors and producers, anyone that creates anything, artists, writers, use crowdsourcing, which are basically people who have a 100% commitment and a passion on what that other person is doing, and that person will set up basically an extended tip jar, if you will. Basically, if they have an idea that they want to put out, let's say someone wanted to write a book, or they wanted to draw and make the biggest mural ever on the side of this wall right here, if they own the building and they wanted to do that, and they did not have the accurate amount of funds, they would put that into the world, and through the circle of goodness, people, through crowdsourcing, would actually come up with the money for those people to either write the book, paint a mural on a wall, make a movie, or any other 114 million and a half gazillion thousand things that crowdsourcing is used for. Now, like I was saying, in my life, I've always felt that that was a negative thing, a bad thing. And I don't know why I've had that mentality. I think a lot of it is because I've always been very stubborn. I've always wanted to do everything myself, and I did not want any handouts, any charity, anything like that, especially coming up in a punk rock band, doing everything DIY, do it yourself, do it yourself, do it yourself. I don't need help from anyone else. Do it yourself, do it yourself, do it yourself. That was my mentality. And through the beauty of YouTube, I've discovered that there are a lot of people who are on my side that are very passionate about what I'm doing, not only with giving me suggestions on where people want me to go, but also helping out by buying t-shirts on AdamTheWoo.Spreadshirt.com. I did a vlog about a week or two ago, called it The Future of the Adam the Woo channel, and all these movie locations that I will be going to across the country, as well as going back to Florida, to Atlanta, to Gatlinburg, lots of video ideas. But then I got to thinking, based on comments that people were sending me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and on that YouTube video, people were saying, start a Patreon account. Now, I am not really super familiar with how Patreon works, so I've done some research in the last couple days. And I posted something on my Facebook Adam the Woo, Facebook/TheDailyWoo. You can look at that. I posted a post yesterday morning asking what everyone's opinion on this crowdfunding was. And 90% of the positive people, not everyone was positive, 90% of those who were positive were all suggesting Patreon. So I did a little research on Patreon, and I guess the way Patreon works is it's a monthly system where if someone was to fund adventures, me going out, basically paying for a rental car, paying for a hotel room, paying for a flight to go somewhere in the country, somewhere out of the country, somewhere overseas, all these ideas that I have written down in a book, this massive book full of ideas, and ideas that I have not even discovered yet, that you have not even told me yet, that I really want to get to. My whole purpose is to continue traveling, seeing things, doing things, moving to Southern California. I love Southern California, but in a lot of ways, it has kind of changed things a little bit, because I do have to pay rent on my house, and it's kind of difficult to get in the van and travel for months at a time when I have obligations at the house with paying rent and stuff like that. So my new motive will basically be anywhere in California that I can drive to. Let's say Las Vegas, let's say San Francisco, San Diego, all those places I can easily attain through driving in my van, getting a hotel for a couple of nights, because it is kind of warm, it is summertime, so sleeping in the van during the summertime would be kind of rough. But I've also got other ideas that I want to go fly and go to. This has nothing to do with my already pre-planned plans of going to Dragon Con a month from now. 1 month from now, I will be in Atlanta at Dragon Con. I've already booked my flight and my hotel room. And I've also still have not booked it, but I am going to Gatlinburg first week of November, and then I'm going back to Central Florida for 2 weeks at the end of December. This whole conversation has nothing to do with those plans. These are for future plans as the year progresses, and most likely into early next year. I really want to start doing a lot of traveling, a lot of flying places, a lot of filming. The biggest thing are the movie filming locations. Now, I've said this before, the way I pretty much make any sort of income is off AdamTheWoo.Spreadshirt.com. If you buy a t-shirt, not this t-shirt, this is actually not an Adam the Woo shirt, but if someone gets an Adam the Woo shirt, I get a small percentage of that money. You get something in return. And then once every 3 months, I get a direct deposit to my bank account, and that kind of helps fuel the woo, putting gas in the van, traveling around and doing things. I'm losing my train of thought. By the way, trying some new iced coffee. Usually I'm a hot coffee guy. I'm going with the iced coffee today because it is a little warm. And a lot of people from California say how warm it is and how hot it is. It is not hot here. It is a little warm. There's a tiny bit of humidity, but compared to Florida, it is heaven here. It is very nice. And the atmosphere, definitely not as humid as it is here. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Talking about crowdfunding, talking about me traveling, other ideas. Oh yeah, the movie filming locations. The way I make money is off of a few ads on some of the videos. You know when you watch a YouTuber's videos. There will be a little ad beforehand. Well, a YouTuber gets a small percentage of that. Pennies on the dollar, but over thousands and thousands of views, those YouTubers could make a small percentage and a little bitty small tiny bit of income. Most of my income comes off of the t-shirts, which in a way is its own crowdfunding, but a lot of people have said, I want to actually contribute more to your ideas than just buying a t-shirt. Maybe they have already got the t-shirts. Maybe you, sir, ma'am, children, already own all of the Adam the Woo shirts that you can possibly wear, and you want to contribute to a Patreon account. So this is my question. Oh yeah, the movie filming locations. Speaking of the ads, all of my filming locations, I have done 50 plus filming locations. So think about it. The Ernest Goes to Camp, the Back to the Future, the Pee-wee's Big Adventure, going to Ohio and filming Shawshank Redemption, Florida, the My Girl filming locations, the Flight of the Navigator filming locations. Go over to my Adam the Woo channel, look up playlists, and look up the filming locations. I have done a ton of filming locations. It holds a very special place in my heart, and I have hundreds of other filming location ideas. The problem is, because I use clips, so when people watch the videos, I think a lot of people really want to see what is actually happening in the clip. Like if I showed this brick wall and said, oh, this was the brick wall from this movie, can't you picture this actor standing right here? If you did not have a frame of reference of the actor standing there, then you would not understand what I'm trying to explain. That's why I put the movie clips in, that's why I put some of the music in, and that is why I do not put any ads, I do not monetize any of the videos for the filming location video. So that is all a labor of love. I don't make any money on that. So people have suggested start a Patreon account. And the way Patreon kind of works, the way I can kind of figure it out, help me out with this, please leave some comments down below. And this video is not stating the fact that I am going to create a Patreon account. I'm trying to get your opinions, get your ideas, what you think. When I posted on Facebook yesterday morning, I would say probably about 80%, 4 out of 5 people were very, very, very super positive towards the idea of a Patreon account. Now, I would be classified into that 1 out of 5 who would say, no, Patreon is a bad idea. Take my punk rock do-it-yourself ethics and get that Patreon support out of here. I don't want to support anyone. I don't need supported. So I understand where the 1 in 5, where that 20% of those who are chiming in, and I'm sure a good percentage of people, maybe even more than 20%, will dislike this video and dislike the fact that Patreon exists. And I'm even talking about a crowdsourcing and crowdfunding idea and a crowdsourcing vlog. And I totally get it, and I totally agree with you to a degree, because that is the way my mentality works. Please leave some comments down below about this subject. What do you think about me starting a Patreon account? Now, there are a couple different ways from what I have discovered in the last 2 days of researching other creators' Patreon accounts. There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can actually do basically a Patreon per video, where I will release a video a week early. Let's say a Patreon will actually pledge $1 a month, and they will get a video a week early. And there's other ways, which I think the other way is better, where basically I set plateaus. Like if I get this certain amount per month, I will actually promise to go do something every month at this level. And if it's a level at this, I will make other promises to do things even on a more extreme level based on those funds, and up and up and up. And I'm thinking that might be the best way. But this is not all about my opinions. In fact, I am very dumbfounded when it comes to this whole Patreon experience. So I would like your opinions, either about Patreon, which avenue I should go with, or should I just say, get out of here, just only do the t-shirts, just rely on the t-shirts, and do not do Patreon. I want to know what your opinion and your thought process is on this. I value your opinion, and I'm kind of going with the general consensus. Obviously, if 75 to 80% of the people are completely against it, then I will not even give it another second thought. So I'm basically going off of what your opinion is. Please leave those comments down below. Let's have a conversation about this. I want to know what you think. I have some big ideas, big plans, and either way, I am going to do them. I think this might be a good possible way, based on your suggestions, that we can actually propel things and speed things up a little bit. I'm very excited about the future, and I'm really glad you guys are on board, and I'm really looking forward to reading your comments. I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.